The guy who came in second place at the slam dunk contest, the reporters were asking him, "What happened? What happened?" I'll tell you what happened. If the guy who won, who like should win, wins, there's nothing to talk about. You know, the guy who should win has to come in second place, so people talk about the guy who came in second place and that he came in second place. See, yeah, I know. It's impressive psychology, I know. What the guy said, the guy who came in second, when they were interviewing him, he was like, I did this dunk, I did it like this. You can't do any better than that. Basically, it's not possible. What are we doing here? Another guy asked a question, he was like, what are we doing here? You know? Who runs this thing? Who put on this friggin' clown show of a friggin' dunk contest? What are we doing here? He said it like 10 times. What are we doing here? They're like, you gonna do this again next year? He's like, no. I did this twice. Pretty sure I won both times. What are we doing here? You know, it's like the only way to make it fair for the losers of the world is for the winners to lose, the losers to win, and then to ask the losers why they lost. Well, I lost because I won. What? Yeah, it's like the Illuminati light language, like dove. It's supposed to mean peace, but in the Illuminati it means death, you know? And I'm totally probably perverting the light language by saying it means opposites, but like George H.W. Bush said, my idea of the truth is saying the opposite of what is true. My idea of telling the truth is lying. You know? Why isn't our children learning? Said he. George H. Bush. Oh, no, sorry. George W. 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 What a fucking stupid name. So, I'm still thinking about what got me all jazzed up yesterday. Today, it's more awareness of that which drives me, which is biological. The biological driving forces of the male are pretty simple. It's taken just basic biological drive. That's what makes a man outstanding. When he becomes outstanding, it's that he just tapped into that or controlled it. But I've been studying a little bit. I've always been an observer of greatness. Tormented Souls, the artist. Tormented Souls, not something you want to mess around with. You know, you see somebody and you're like, that dude's got some screws loose. But then you check all the screws and he's tight. You know, like he's on point. You know, you have a conversation with him about anything and he's going to be the smartest guy in the room. You know, you got a problem, you know, on some large scale, you just talking about it, passing, like what needs to be done. He straight up tells you straight up what needs to get done. The conversation's over. The daddy daycare advertisement. I don't know. I never had a problem with Eddie Murphy. But with all the fucking sick, twisted fucking pedophiles in Hollywood, um, they're not dead yet, so they must be still making movies, I guess. Of course, you know, they can keep making movies after they're dead, or we can keep using them to make movies if they sell tickets. It's like the question of evolution. Are we going to 2D or 5D? It's a serious topic, I think. To me as well. I've given that some friggin' thought. From a point to a line, one dimension is a point, 2 dimensions is a line. So super fishy. Look up super fishy. Do that. You know, the conversations about 5 dimensions or 5D, the frequency, the density, I'm like, oh. But if you ask them what 3D is for density or frequency, they're like, the Matrix has them. They can't talk because they don't fucking know. No offense to them either. If I used that kind of language, I'd want someone to ask what the fuck I'm talking about. Because I expect myself to know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like one of the rules I live by is to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because when seconds count, after your proverbial shit hit the fan situation is over, whether you're alive or dead, you or someone else can call 911 and the authorities will only be 5 minutes to 2 hours away. Fortunately, I got great security. Best in the world. But what if you're in love with your bodyguard? Then you're even more like cautious. Because it's like, you know that if you get in a fight, she's gonna be fighting. I don't know. I think you understand that concept without me needing to say more about it. I believe that. So much about what's going on with Trump. Life does have a way of bringing people together. How do I shut this thing up, dude? It's never happened before.
An average player will have a great game, and that's all. Less often than that, there's times where average players have an entire great season, and it's a lot less likely because more often than not, a great season means they'll usually.
I've been thinking a lot lately about different stuff than usual. If you know me, you know what what I'm into. And if you watch these videos, it may be super clear and it may be unclear as anything.
So today we're looking at the six biggest one-hit wonder players currently in the NBA.
But I found years ago there's like 5 topics. 5 topics that if you study them to a reasonable extent, you put in a good 50 hours. And the topic's never far from your mind.